Greetings, I am Marie Antoinette, Queen of France and Navarre. Today, I am here to share my extraordinary story, fraught with opulence, intrigue, and tragedy. Born an Austrian archduchess in 1755, I was thrust into the limelight as a teenager when I was betrothed to the future King of France, Louis XVI, in an attempt to strengthen the bonds between our two nations. My journey from Austria to France was arduous and transformative. On a small island in the middle of the Rhine River, I was ceremonially stripped of my Austrian clothes and belongings, a symbolic gesture to cleanse myself of my Austrian past. From that moment, I was to be French in every sense of the word. As a young queen, my life in the grand palace of Versailles was filled with opulence and splendor, but it was also a life under a relentless public eye. My fondness for fashion and entertainment led many to believe that I was frivolous and extravagant, with my perceived excesses often being exaggerated and misunderstood. The infamous affair of the diamond necklace, for example, was a scandal I was unfairly implicated in. While I had nothing to do with this fraudulent scheme, my reputation was irrevocably tarnished. Despite my attempts to embrace my role and my adopted country, my Austrian origins were often a point of contention. In the eyes of many French people, I was the Austrian woman, a foreigner who had come to take their resources. I was deeply hurt by these sentiments, as my intentions were never to cause harm, but rather to serve my husband and my adopted nation to the best of my abilities. With the outbreak of the French Revolution, my world turned upside down. I was no longer a queen but a prisoner. The grand halls of Versailles were replaced by the cold, dreary walls of the conciergerie. It was during this time that I experienced one of the most heartbreaking moments of my life, when I saw the head of my dear friend, the Princesse de Lamballe, paraded on a pike by the revolutionaries. It was a brutal reminder of the hatred that had been directed towards me. Finally, I was put on trial, a trial that was more of a spectacle than a pursuit of justice. Despite the grim circumstances, I tried to maintain my dignity, defending myself with as much courage and eloquence as I could muster. However, the verdict had been predetermined. I was to be condemned to death, not for any crimes I committed, but for who I was: an Austrian, a queen, and a symbol of the Ancien regime. Today, I share my story not to justify my actions or to elicit pity, but to help you understand that my life was not just a succession of parties and opulent dresses, but also a constant struggle for survival in a world that was hostile to me. I hope that my story helps you understand the importance of looking beyond appearances, of not judging a person solely from the rumors or images that circulate about her. Despite everything, I never stopped loving France, my adopted country. It was my home, the place where I gave birth to my children, where I experienced joys and sorrows. For better or for worse, I tried to serve my country and my king. I conclude by saying that, if I could go back, I would not change anything. The challenges I faced made me the person I was: a queen, a mother, a woman of courage. Despite harsh trials and harsh judgments, I have always tried to stay true to myself and my beliefs. Remember me, Marie Antoinette, not as the distorted image history has often painted, but as a woman who lived, loved, and suffered. A woman who, despite everything, has never lost her dignity. Thanks for listening to me.